The first of our 2 batches of Previously Ons is just a highlight reel that I can only liken to having sex atop a series of encyclopedias. Yes, I'm having fun, but I'm not really learning anything. Hey, you kid, baseball here. Could you do me a kindness and maybe not throw me as hard as you can as an external expression of your internal superpower? Thanks. Okay, never mind. Bye!
And I had a heck of a time trying to find you, buddy. I even had to get a big, important congresswoman to help me.
Giving up your source as if she isn't a big, important congresswoman. Also, I'm still confused as to why it was, in fact, so hard for Homelander to find Ryan. He knows Butcher has traveled to see him, which means he's likely still in America, and maybe even a neighboring state. Combine that with his super speed, super hearing, and x-ray vision, and he should have found Ryan quicker than you can say Butcher's a terrible father figure.
I can hear those clumsy fingers of yours slipping around on that screen.
My Google Assistant every time I try to scroll through my socials while also eating hot wings. Probably.
But aren't you mad at me for what I did?
You know it wasn't your fault, right?
It kind of was Ryan's fault though, right? Nobody else made the lasers come out of his eyes and turn his mom into Kentucky Fried Becca. Also, now I understand why Butcher was a dick to Ryan midway through the season. It was so that Fatherlander here could swoop in and shatter the admittedly low parental bar set by Butcher and bring Ryan to the dark side. Super generous of William to give Homelander a chance like this, even if it does appear to be 100% counter to his overall game plan. Kids being fickle little, I'll hug whoever gives me attention and tells me I'm not in trouble, and Daddy, why didn't you hug me more when I screwed up and shoved my crayons in the VCR and... Sorry, apologies, I appear to have drifted a bit there, and this is exactly why I usually limit myself to just saying kids. Hashtags that don't actually work as hashtags because they have a space in them. Bringing paper and a fist to a Guns God and Homelander fight.
But I do know the Attorney General is an attention who loves to be on Don Lemon, and she's on her way here right now with a search warrant to look for her.
Thanks for the expositional walk and talk, Ashley, but wouldn't it look a little suspicious if a shady-looking black van is spotted leaving Vought Tower? Wouldn't the Attorney General, press, and the hundreds of people outside be expecting a stunt like this? If you type "what was Soldier Boy" into Google, it immediately completes the query with "drinking in the season finale of The Boys." That suggests that I was not alone in my befuddlement regarding this beverage, and I'm sure we were all equally horrified to discover that he was, in fact, pouring Coke into milk. Evidently, this is a hangover cure from the 30s, and while I want to give points for historical accuracy, I'm gonna have to sin the fact that I can taste it in the back of my nose. Also, here's a follow-up sin for the pilk culture rabbit hole I subsequently fell down. Yes, pilk, as in Pepsi and milk. A subset of the internet where people can discuss ratios, fat content, and digestive complaints. Somehow, despite being the company most equipped to deal with the soups, this Vought doc f***s up the concentration of the knockout gas, giving Maeve the opportunity to escape and be integral to the finale. I'll just let the equally offended Vought van do the dinging for me on this one.
The most bizarre is this, to know so much,
To control so little.
Whoever wrote that clearly didn't have my skip button.
Deep and I had to move Maeve out of the tower.
Where is Maeve now?
Noir, hey.
Here's a sin for Noir, accidentally saving the day, which prevents us from seeing what Homelander's retribution for these 2 losing Maeve was going to be. I was really looking forward to some deep-fried, well, just deep-fried, actually.
You really are a spitting image of my little brother.
What?
Punching your little brother. Depending on the crime, you can slap him, throw shit at him, call him a stinky turd burger, or settle it like real men with Nerf guns.
A turnaround, the little get-it-done runner.
We needed him to get near Noir.
Don't you worry about that, Gov. I got it all worked out.
Soldier Boy believes this, and there will be no follow-up beatings when Butcher's new plan is revealed to be studying these maps and then just walking into the tower with no plan at all.
I'm really sorry, Nate. I'll spend the rest of my life making it up to you.
But why aren't you using your regained position to leverage him some V? We saw it insta-heal Kimiko in the last episode, and the show hasn't even given passing lip service to why it wouldn't work on Nate. Damn it, show. Give me some passing lip service. Wait.
Did you kill Blue Hawk?
What? No, that was Soldier Boy.
Lying may technically be a sin, but around here, the worst sin is lying badly. Practice more, A-Train.
Annie, I'm so sorry. I've been an asshole.
Looks like it's that time of the season when Hughie apologizes to Annie. They get back together and live happily ever after until the start of the next season. This is truly a satisfying relationship for us all.
Oh my God! I f***ing told you so.
Feel good to get that out?
So satisfying.
It is not. Telling someone I told you so is never as satisfying as it feels and is ultimately self-defeating. It's just a reminder that they didn't f***ing listen to you in the first place and now you have to help them fix their shit. Talking on your phone while driving. That's illegal in New York, Annie. Come on, you're supposed to be a superhero.
Where were you?
About 12 floors below you in the tower.
You couldn't have worked that out, Starlight. You knew she wasn't in rehab and you were literally held in those cells last season. Where did you think Vought had her? At home? Washing her tights?
I don't care what your orders are. I'm Starlight, and I'm telling you that you need to evacuate the tower now.
Actually, at the end of Herogasm, you told the world that you weren't Starlight anymore and have since been on a very public rampage against Vought. So I have no idea why you think whoever's on the other end of this line is going to follow your orders instead of Homelander's.
Y'all two us over, and now you want to be motherfucking Teresa?
I don't think any of those things were what Mary Teresa was famous for, MM.
I became a superhero.
And what did the old man say then?
He said I took a shortcut.
You can sound indignant, but you totally did take a shortcut though, right? I mean, you didn't get superpowers the hard way. You signed up to have some chemicals pumped into your body and then showed up for photo ops in Normandy. You weren't misunderstood by your father. You were, by this account, properly judged by your father.
What was he like? Come on, nobody's all bad.
Homelander clearly didn't hear my earlier rant about the Pilk people.
You lied to me my whole life.
Oh, come on already. When do we get going? Other than some mild Maeve action, nothing has happened in the first 20 minutes of this finale. We go from Homelander emotionally manipulating his son, to MM processing emotionally traumatizing his daughter, to A-Train processing physically traumatizing his brother, to Hughie processing his dad's emotional trauma, to Soldier Boy processing being a disappointment to his father, and landing on Homelander processing that he finally has a father. This thing is over an hour long and just wants to tell us how much dads suck. Except for Hughie's, who, fascinatingly, just can't cook.
Why didn't you tell me?
The show is going to have to do a lot more to convince me that this graphic disemboweling is the end of noir. I've been burned so many times that I'm not buying a death unless I see every limb exploded, shredded, or blended. No, that was not a request.
My cake hole will remain open.
Me, when the staff at the newly opened all-you-can-eat bakery politely asked me to leave after my 14th chocolate eclair. Everyone will be pissed at Maeve for yeeting the Novichok out the window, but no one reacts by saying, holy shit, you just threw a bottle of deadly neurotoxin into the middle of New York City. We should make every effort to collect that at some point.
Annie, I don't want to hurt you.
But I will.
Either Compound V gave Soldier Boy the power of dramatic entrances, or else he was just waiting at the door until someone set him up.
That's sort of treason. Big word.
It is not. But did Deep really have to do this assassination by hand? Can he control the water? Or send in a jellyfish or something? It's quite telling that after 3 seasons, I still really don't understand what his powers are beyond having gills and sexual. Also, I guess it's lucky that the Senator enjoys an evening swim, or else the Deep would have had to, I don't know, irritate him to death?
They got a really big head start, but I know a way in.
We will never see this special way in. They will simply, at some point, just be in.
Because from where I'm standing, we're with no grease.
I get the intent behind the metaphor, but I'm not sure getting with grease is any better from a hygiene standpoint, MM.
No plan and no knockout gas.
Where do we get some more?
We don't.
There is one lab in New York.
Of course there is. And of course Frenchie has been holding on to this backup plan for no good reason at all, because life and death situations are just more fun that way.
And as fate would have it, we are headed there.
I guess from the point of view of TV characters, the existence of a writing team deciding what happens next kind of would feel like fate. Okay, everyone, there's a parallel dimension where this video is only 15 seconds long and is simply this next monologue from MM and 100 Sins.
We're going to break into Vought Tower while you go to the lab crawling with armed guards. And you're going to cook up the world's most dangerous neurotoxin with what? Little Moxie and a little Mr. Wizard know-how? While we hold off Homelander and Soldier Boy.
Truly is a gift when an episode writes its own sins so articulately. Also, let's not pretend like sneaking into Vought Tower is difficult in any way. Hughie and Lamplighter snuck into the tower in season 2, and Annie and Maeve have been in and out of the lab all season stealing Temp V and other plot integral research notes.
The most important of my life. And I'm counting on coked out Eurotrash.
The way I imagine the organizers of the Eurovision Song Contest must feel somehow makes its way into the episode. Of course, Hughie finds one stray vial of Temp V as if it grew wings and flew out of Butcher's pocket screaming, "Come get me, Hughie! I must provide you with one final ethical dilemma at a crucial moment in the finale, for it is my destiny."
I wish I could have raised you and taught you, father to son. I could have made you better.
Soldier Boy uses the tension with his fake out as if completely unaware that this scene, episode, season, and series was already 99% daddy issues.
You're weaker than he is.
Let's go! Oh. Thank goodness for this sudden cutaway. Yep, there's definitely no reason I'd want to see Butcher and Soldier Boy fighting. Nope, definitely glad we chose this moment to suddenly cut back to Homelander and Ryan.
Maeve? Stop.
Yes! Get it, Maeve! Finally, we get to see her kick Homelander's, come on, cutting away again? Fine, we're cutting back to Soldier Boy and Butcher after I just said not seeing them fight, but this isn't what I meant. The fact that a point-blank shot to the face with laser vision only gave Soldier Boy a cut has severely dampened my laser eye boner. At this point in the episode, Butcher, Soldier Boy, Maeve, Starlight, MM, Frenchie, Kimiko, and Hughie have all snuck into Vought Tower, and into its most sensitive areas with no visible effort or obstruction. Okay, sure, maybe it all happened off-screen, but you and me, we're smart. We know that it's so we can be surprised by their sudden arrival, and that all the money they spent on Herogasm means they couldn't afford to get this to feature length. The guards bust in and Kimiko just assumes that they'll kindly wait for her to do this adorable warm-up dance instead of immediately shooting Frenchie. And they do, which is weird. Look, Starlight, I seriously don't want to narrate-splain your powers to you, but based on what we've seen, one of your advantages is f***ing range! Like, we've seen your powers work from across this very room. You certainly don't need to be within shield pummeling distance. Iambic pentameter beatings.
I got the Novichok.
This works. Just all of it. Just the whole f***ing thing. One has the ingredients. Frenchie puts them together this quickly. Frenchie survives this f***ing all of it.
You bitch.
Thing the MCU said to fans of the Marvel TV universe somehow makes it into the script. Perhaps I shouldn't be surprised, but a lot of this finale is punching. Like, a lot of it. We've got a crescendo with Starlight, Kimiko, Homelander, Soldier Boy, Butcher, and Maeve, and the only people with interesting powers, Kimiko and Starlight, are immediately sidelined for most of it, leaving us with the same versus same versus same versus same, and it's lame. Jesus Christ, Super Starlight. Also, sure is nice of Soldier Boy to let Annie slowly power up for a big power move instead of attacking her immediately. So she finally gets to go full Super Saiyan, and all it does is knock Soldier Boy down for 2 seconds. I'm honestly impressed she made it to season 3.
I'm not going back in that big box.
The fact that this takes so long makes me wonder how the perfume idea was ever going to work. Were they just going to hold him down as Kimiko or someone pumps tiny squirts of perfumey Novichok 100 times with no care for possible splash damage, time wasted, or finger cramping? To the untrained eye, it definitely looks like Maeve is saving the day with a heroic sacrifice, but I'm afraid I'm here to crush that fairy tale. If the building has been evacuated, isn't the best plan to keep Soldier Boy up here? Okay, she wants to save Ryan and deep down cares about Annie, but charging him out the window is putting all the neighborhood buildings at risk, and she has no idea when he'll go nuclear. What if it isn't until after they land and even more people on the ground get f***ed up? Be a real hero and kill your friends, Maeve.
How long I got? Months.
It's hard to take a diagnosis like this seriously when we know that an infusion of V has been proven to heal basically everything. Even if that isn't what eventually happens because of Butcher's pride or whatever, simply knowing it's on the table neuters anything I'm supposed to feel about this moment.
I could jump. You can f***ing fly.
Not really, right? She can levitate 4 inches off the ground for a few seconds if all the lights are turned up. That's not flying, and is so specific and unhelpful that I actually don't think we should bother finding an alternate name. Well, Season 3 just had to give us one final desktop-based sin gift, didn't it? I see your file labeled not porn and hardy har har, but the one icon that takes the cake is this blackmail folder. Why leave it on display when you can hide it in your not porn folder? Unfinished sweaters. I bet that's totally like a metaphor for like unresolved trauma or like hanging threads in the plot, or maybe like I've been doing this too long and like need another hobby.
The suit never gave me any power. And Vought sure as didn't.
You mean aside from the compound V they injected you with as a baby? The one that gave you the powers? The one that came from Vought? You mean apart from that? Instead of leaving us in the warm embrace of a newly reformed and now 33% inaccurately named The Boys, the show decides instead to taunt us with Anakin Homelander creepily smiling as a raucous crowd cheers on his father for lasering a man to death. And no, I'm not sinning the senseless abuse of power. I'm sinning that we had to wait 2 years for season 4. That's right. I'm sitting season 4 at the end of season 3 and no one can stop me. Nobody. I am Narrator Lander. I am Homerator. I am still workshopping my supervillain name.
Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep.
Are you crying? Are you crying? There's no crying. There's no crying in baseball.
And she's on her way here right now with a search warrant to look for her.
Fine. You want your warrant? I'll have my guys bring it out here and deliver it to you on a little satin pillow. How's that?
Out of all man's miseries, the most bitter is this, to know so much.
You know I don't speak Spanish. In English, please.
There was a search warrant.
I wanted to wait for you, Homelander, but she insisted.
Can you just shut the up?
You don't move, your head is going up his ass.
We're gonna go.
Your hashtag free Maeve had every LGBT in the world up Vought's ass.
Phrasing?
What happens if I pull this trigger?
Look into my eyes.
I'm alone.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Mop.
Yeah.
Mop.